Yeah, this is
Oh my God.
Pursue Matisse and Marvin. Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if you could be there.
Or Stacy.
I know, I was gonna say. Yeah. It's. Celebration on the 16th.
You know it.
Yeah.
Because we had
There's, you know, there's extras. The only thing that's
that's exactly
I had to train, so I had to come through the ranks. I had
very quickly. We were talking and she
Did ask the
bar managers.
and that's one thing.
same thing I did.
But I have to bring some ashes. That's crazy. Well,
He's talking to Scott here.
7 o'clock.
Oh.
Means a break.
No.
Holy cow.
Don't sit down. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There you go, a little PR, that's what they always need, you know, so. All right, Stacy, can you do roll call, please?
Mr. Lawrence,
Here.
Mr. Bauer,
Here.
Ms. Busher, here. Ms. Hassler, here. Mr. Stoffer,
Here.
Mr. Wetzel is absent. Mr. White,
No.
Mr. Miller.
Here. All right, thank you. Okay, so before we start here, note for the record that there was an executive session held on February 24th, 2026 regarding personnel and collective bargaining matters. And next, I do want to acknowledge we lost one of our former council members. I believe last week it was Frank Yost was a council member for a long time. He was also a volunteer policeman at Topton. Was a big, he was fire police actually. He wasn't Topton. He was a big part of our council, and he will be missed. So I wanted to announce that. Next, we have the approval of minutes from February 9th. Did everybody get a copy of it? Everyone saw it and read over it? Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of February 9th, 2026.
All right. Anybody have any questions about it? All in favor? Anyone disapprove? All right. Stacy, you want to do communications?
Sure. We received two communications from Mr. Klein. The first was
to request that the fire company and emergency management, which is our coordinator, request the communications trailer from LVH, and again this year for the Halloween parade held by TCOC. So that would need a motion.
I'll make that a motion. I'll second.
Anybody have any questions about that? All those in favor? Anyone disapprove? All right, very good.
Thank you. And then the second in that email from Mr. Klein was for council's approval to pay any fire police that volunteer, get a contribution to their company of an amount of $50 per person that volunteers for traffic control for the Halloween parade. So I would need a motion on that.
$50 per person.
That volunteers from a fire company to be fire police.
Okay.
I'm so moved.
I'll second.
Anybody have any questions? All those in favor? Anyone disapprove? Very good.
Now, not the Halloween parade, but now for trunk or treat, Mr. Klein asks that they hold on Home Avenue, North Home, that would be so. So Home Avenue from Franklin and to Smith Street, hold trunk or treat from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with shut down at 5:30 and reopening around 8:30. They would hold this at the Trinity Lutheran Stone parking lot like they did in previous times, like last year. So they would need assistance with barricades from our staff prior to approval for road closure, approval for the event itself.
I'll second it.
Anybody have any questions?
Was there a date? I didn't hear a date.
Oh, always on October 31st, I apologize. Thanks, Colin.
Okay, all those in favor? Anyone disapprove? All right, very good. Anything else, Stacy?
Nope, thank you.
Okay. All right, next we have the Honorable Guy Miller with the mayor's report.
All I have, I would assume everybody that came in tonight saw all the kids and people on the playground, so with this warmer weather, whether it lasts just this week or not, just reminder of the speed through town and the Park Street here, watch kids walking home from school or out playing, and me and Cap talked before, hopefully no more snow emergencies.
We might be out, hoping. Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Any visitors that have anything they want to talk about regarding the agenda items? Okay. All right, Joan, you're up.
Yeah, I don't have anything to report on either, I understand, a personnel executive session, collective bargaining executive session stuff based on for the record. Intermunicipal agreements, they were sent over to council for, the engineers for Diacom. Nothing to report on, sent over a couple months ago.
Okay. What is that? It's not Diacon anymore. What's it called, Stacy?
So Evertrue owns the larger properties, but the two high rises are
Still
still
Diacon? Okay, so it's Evertrue.
Correct.
Okay. All right. We just call it the home, so.
Yeah, I had to get used to calling it Diacon after years of calling it.
Yeah, just the home.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Stacy, department manager report.
We finished our work with the auditors, and the draft is being reviewed by the finance chair. We still would need our solicitor's letter in response to their request
I
at some time.
have an email about that, and you get that.
Because that'll be the final element to the completion of the audit. So we will be performing our journal entries for year-end 2025, and then working with our new software company to then load over the final numbers for 2025 and beginning 2026. The Affordable Care Act reporting to the IRS was completed for 2025 employees coverage. We requested and received an extension to a Pennsylvania grant for the Washington Street Pump Station grant, and that was a 12-month extension. I completed with Mr. White the source water protection plan report for 2025. We had the second storm in February. It was milder, thank goodness. It wasn't so bad, and we actually had a nice amount of salt on hand. I want to shout out a thank you to Ronnie Shakler. He's been very easy to work with previously, but especially this year. We are, like I said, continuing to onboard with our financial payroll and billing softwares. And we got an update, very not much change to it from Norfolk Southern's contractor, that they will be starting work in early June nearby, like the Alberta's end of the line. And then by mid-June, July, they'll be coming through Topton, going toward Long Swamp. Or Long Swamp to Topton. They really, not very specific right now, but as it gets closer, we will be posting on Facebook, on our electronic sign, on our website to alert people to closings on the railroad crossings. So that's what I had up in my report.
Okay.
Thank you.
While we're giving shout outs on that, I do want to give a shout out to you and to Guy for making sure that all the cars were off of the snow emergency routes. And also our guys out there. It was not that big of a storm, but everything was taken care of pretty nicely. So definitely it's a good thing.
I did want to also provide in a separate item the status of the administrative assistant position. Bernadine Douglas is no longer with us, but we will be, with the help of Mr. Stauffer, advertising for a revised position to suit the needs of the office as well as the community and community events all your life.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Committee reports. Mr. White and Brian.
I have what Stacy already covered, the source water protection plan. I want to thank her for doing it. That was filed well before it needed to be filed. So
Good.
the state was happy she got a response from
Thank you.
the, well, ahead of time.
We want to keep the state happy. That's good. You know, so very good.
That's all I have.
Okay. All right. Personnel, Mr. Stauffer.
Okay, back in the third week of February, along with Sabre and Stacy and Alex Ward, we interviewed several candidates for the position for a sewer plane operator. As you know, Alex Ward has been working every day, every week, every holiday for the last couple of years. So we're going to hire someone to help him down there, get certified, so that Mr. Ward can start taking some days off. So like I say, we interviewed several candidates, and I'm pleased to announce that we agreed upon a gentleman who has about 2.5 years' experience in the Borough of Red Hill in the maintenance department. He had no experience in the sewer department, but he is willing to go to school to get certified. So I'm going to make a motion that we hire a Mr. Jacob Lieberman for that position of the sewer treatment plant. And then eventually, once you hire him down there, he can help out the maintenance department as well. So his name is Jacob Lieberman. Like I say, he has experience at the Borough of Red Hill. He lives in Weissenberg Township, which would take him about 15 minutes to get here. And I understand that he expects to start here on March 23rd, right?
So
Is that right? 2 weeks from today?
we do have a little bit of a hiccup here, Cap. Very late in the day today, he stopped in. He still really wants a position, but he had a family emergency out of state, and he had to leave, which is going to push his timeline back about 2 weeks. Now, as I told Stacy when this happened, life happens. I mean, you can't do anything about that, you know. But I do like that he stopped in to talk to her, to let her know what's going on and everything. So I think we can still appoint him tonight, but the timeline is going to change a little bit. So.
And I know Stacy has contacted him after we interviewed him and after the committee selected him, and he said he would take the
Yes.
position.
Yeah, he wants it.
Appointed, so.
Yeah. He thinks it's gonna be about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, like I said, life happens. What can you do? You know what I mean? So,
He was
yeah.
very, very good, very good. And
Yeah. All right.
his name is Jacob Lieberman. So I'm giving that name, I'm gonna make a motion at this time to hire him for sewer plant, starting soon. When he's
Sorry.
available.
To be determined, yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay, all those in favor? Anyone disapprove? All right, hired. No, very good. All right, streets, Mr. Wetzel is not here tonight. So next we have Hassler with Finance Committee.
I would like to make the motion to approve the list of bills and transfers as presented.
Did everybody get a copy? Everybody has a copy, that's right? Yeah, make sure it's easy. Yep, perfect. Yeah.
Wait a second, sorry.
Okay.
I thought we were waiting for the motion.
No. All right, so everybody looked over. Are there any questions? Okay, all those in favor of paying the bills?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyone disapprove? All right, okay.
Also, you all received a copy of the budget revisions that were completed.
Yes.
There were explanations, detailed explanations why every revision was done. And I'd like to make a motion to approve those.
So-
Or I would to approve those.
I just want to put on the record before we approve this, okay? And we talk about this. We are putting the library back up to this amount that they were getting.
Yes.
But I want on the record that my daughter does work there. However, I made sure of this, that none of the money that comes from any municipality can be used for salaries there. It has to be used for other things. And again, I wanted to make sure of that, and I want that on the record because I don't want anyone questioning why I'm voting for that. So, just so we know. All right, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I want to make the motion to approve it as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, does anybody have any question and understand what all the revisions are? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Anyone disapprove? All right, the revisions are made.
And you are,
Now, also with these budget revisions, with the park activities, that was put up quite a bit. And before we get into the music in the park and everything, I would like to make a motion that we use some of the park activity budget, revised budget, to pay for the 150th anniversary drones and fireworks.
what would be that amount?
It's about, Kurt, was it about 16,000?
If we do the minimum run, yes.
Yeah, it'd be 16,000, I think, to 16 to 22,000. We revised the budget so we could pay for. My thought on that, just so everyone knows, is that if the borough itself sponsors it, it ensures that it will happen. If we have to, I mean, listen, it is March. This is happening in May. If they have to go around and ask for donations from all these places, it may not happen. You gotta schedule that now. You have to do it. You know what I mean? So I would like to make a motion to pay for the fireworks and drones anywhere from 16 to 22,000, depending on what they decide.
I'll second it.
Anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna maybe be a little bit of a yellow. I appreciate that, being that it is part of the 150, and that we're, very much working on that. Is there a way that maybe we can do half of that? And like maybe try and get sponsors for the rest of it, or like, Kurt, do we know if they had to do it, if we had to do a down payment on it to hold it, or?
I gave the place the date, but I haven't gotten back to it because we don't have funding. We didn't have funding.
Is there any funding towards that yet at all?
We have not reached out because we
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear from this. Yeah, I just think like I said, March, April, May.
I would recommend we could still reach out for funding and then put the borough back, if the borough's willing to back, if we don't get any.
Okay. I mean, we can, whatever, I just want to ensure that it happens.
If we get funding, that just reduces what the borough.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I think that's good. Brian?
Just out of curiosity, could you explain to me what the budget changes were? Is there
Yeah,
something like-
I can actually read them off to you, absolutely. So the very first line item was a reduced expense line item due to no longer having a contract for the police service. That was a huge line item, that was a huge thing. And then we increased the expense line to include purchase of the Fire King cabinet and the minute books. We actually need to, by law, we have to have a special fire cabinet to store the minute books, and we need one. So we had to increase so that we could purchase that. They're not cheap, but it is by law, we have to have that. And the next one, we increased the expense line to reimburse the community for the purchase of the salt spreader. Now, some people have said they don't want that reimbursement. What they choose to do with it once they get it, if they donate it to the 150th, that is on them once they're reimbursed. We also increased the expense line to increase funds for music in the park and the 150th anniversary event and the other events. Music in the park, that we didn't have to really increase for that. There was plenty there for that. It really is for the 150th to be able to pay for the drones and the fireworks. And there will be some left over, really. So we also increased expense line to restore previous funding level to the Brandywine Community Library, which is the one thing that we discussed just now. And then we reduced the expense line due to low need for original budget amount at this time to hire the employee. We reduced the expense line to not use outside contractors and to hire a borough employee. And this is for the public works laborer, the wastewater treatment plant, and the operator and in training. So in other words, the original budgeted amount was low. We took from the police line, moved it down to hire someone. So that was just revised there. And then the next one, we increased the expense line to the public works labor and wastewater treatment for the operator and training. We brought some down to bring it there. So since this doesn't change the bottom line of the budget, we're not required to advertise that we're doing this. However, we have to vote on accepting the revisions. But it doesn't change the bottom line of the budget. It's moving things from that police line.
Okay, I guess my next question, and I don't know if this is the proper time, is the police totally off the,
Well, I can tell you that since we did not go with Fleetwood Police again, they said, we're not doing it anymore, even if you come back.
okay.
And I said that the last.
Yeah, so like,
I know Birds was talked about. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's a big expense,
Mhm.
but for only 40 hours a week, it's kind of,
yeah.
yeah. And hopefully Topton as a town can get by with,
Hopefully.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, the difference is, again, that state police cannot enforce our local borough codes. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
In regards to that,
yeah.
I have some issues. Is anybody going to enforce them?
Well, that's a good question, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. So
Yeah.
when there are people speeding through town and there are people not stopping at stop signs and, there's an
Cars
accident.
don't have inspection stickers.
Correct.
And
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, those are things to think about, and that, again, when getting rid of that police line, that is something that should have been thought a little longer about, but wasn't. So hopefully maybe in the future, it's something that we can think about or talk about, but as of right now, this is where we're at.
Okay.
So, yeah. And Brian, if you want a copy of this, I can certainly give you a copy of the budget revisions. It's exactly what I read to you.
My other question is, and I don't know if this is the proper time, when it comes to minutes,
Mm-hmm.
okay, can I review them prior to them being approved, or do I have to wait till after they're approved?
We've talked about this in the past.
Yeah, but in the past, I was also told by a former president, when it came to minutes, that I should be able to review them before. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, PSAB does not recommend that at all. No one at PSAB would back to us.
So if the minutes, if I haven't seen the minutes and I don't agree with the minutes, what's the procedure now?
You would come to council at the most
Following meeting.
recent meeting. You will ask for things either on the agenda or not on the agenda, and
Okay.
say, I have a
Question.
request for
change it.
minutes of, and then
Okay.
give us what those revisions are to what minutes.
All right.
And then we would just revise them the next time.
If everybody
Consider it,
agrees,
yes, yeah,
yes.
consider it, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all right, you're welcome.
With the budget revisions, do we want to vote on everything separate, or do we want to do one?
I think we can vote, we can make a motion to accept the budget revisions as they are right here in front of us, as one thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, then I want to make the motion to approve as presented.
As presented, that's the term I was looking for, Joan. There
And
you go.
Cap has
Thank you.
seconded it.
Yeah, Cap seconded it, so, anybody have any questions on this? All right, all those in favor of accepting the budget revisions? Say aye. All right. Anyone disapprove? No? Done.
And going back to
No.
the drone,
Correct, so now we gotta discuss the drone. So you, you were saying that we should say, we should talk about or think about saying yes, but if it is less, we'll do it that way. Is that
Like
fair?
if we can get the sponsors to, let's say, I don't know, trying to think of anybody, like Hot Topics, decides
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to fund,
Yeah.
let's say 8,000 of the drone show,
Okay,
then we can do that and then just
okay.
subsidize what the balance would be.
So should we state it as we will put down the deposit and then pay the balance when it's due, whatever the balance is? Because putting the deposit down will ensure that we can get it, and then saying that we'll pay the balance due will be ensuring that it's gonna happen regardless who
I'm
donates.
not sure if we can, if they want it all up front or if they want
We
a
haven't
deposit.
talked details, and the sponsorship would come to the borough, so then you'd still be paying, borough would still be paying.
Right. Like, yes, whoever the sponsor is gonna give it here, and then we would just be pushing it onto there anyway.
Unless, can we do it as in, like, the borough would pay it all or sponsor it, and then if we would get donations, kind of do it as a payback?
Yeah. I mean, it's like Kurt said, it's all gonna come here anyway, it's gonna be one big pot, you know what I mean, so. but
It just seems,
It seemed like a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, I think the first year I did it, it was $10,000, you know what I mean, so it
it's one of those
doubled.
things, well, yeah, it would look cool, and it would be
Sure.
so awesome, and it would just be the, the icing on the cake for the celebration.
Yeah.
It's, does it really need it with everything else going on?
Sometimes I think we do need things like that.
I do.
Yes,
I completely
sometimes
100%
you
do.
just need something.
Yeah.
You
I'm not putting it down, I really, really, truly want it to happen, but it's like, I want the community and our business communities to have the opportunity to provide that service.
Right.
That's
so
what
I know that one company that's been considered was Celebrations
Yes,
out of Slatington.
that's where we got the prices from.
In the past, we've used Celebrations. They did require a signed agreement and a deposit.
Do
A
we-
hefty deposit.
Does this need to be bid, or is this?
No.
Professional service, everyone one.
Yeah, definitely.
Would it be me or one of us to sign
The
it?
borough can. The borough can.
Just trying to figure out, I don't know, the details when it comes to it.
So how do we wanna word this?
Up to you.
I mean, I guess we're gonna have to vote
I think,
if we want to or not, and then it just all goes into one pot. I don't know. Joan, how do you suggest?
Well, it would be a motion to, enter into the contract for the drone display, with encouragement to get sponsorship, but.
Okay. So entering into the contract means if they require a deposit, we'll do that.
Right, do
And then
that.
we'll, okay.
Yeah.
and then if we don't get the sponsorship.
Okay, yeah, so we'll, so we will, all right, so then we need a motion to enter into the contract with the firework and drone display.
I'll make that motion, what you just said.
Okay?
No, that's okay. I'll go with what we just said.
Okay, all right. So you made the motion?
I'll
I'll say, all right. Anybody have any questions? All right, all those in favor? Oh, was it
Who
you?
are you planning on contacting about sponsorship? Just local companies?
Right, and
Anybody that wants to donate.
yeah, and I want the minutes to reflect that, community members and members of council are encouraged to get sponsorships.
Yeah.
We have a letter that was typed up, and I believe it's been sent to a few people and to businesses in the area to sponsor. We just haven't gotten any. But we're trying.
All right, any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone disagree? All right, very good. There we go. So, all right, Kathy, you can go on.
That's okay. The other thing is, we're working on a cash payment policy right now. As you're aware, pennies are being eliminated. In fact, my bank, Fleetwood Bank, no longer accepts pennies at all.
Get out.
Yeah, Fleetwood Bank. Right? It's like, how can you not accept pennies? Come on.
Pennies are money.
Yeah, they said
They're legal tender.
Yeah.
yeah, well, it says it takes nearly 4 cents to make 1 cent. Is why they stopped making pennies. Fleetwood Bank is not even accepting, you can't take them to their phone counters, they won't,
Wow.
they won't take any more pennies anymore, nothing. You cannot get
I
that.
don't feel like you do that.
Yeah, right, it's saying, come on, but I guess you're allowed to now since they're not making
They're a National Association bank, that it's very surprising to hear this.
Yeah, like if you're insured by the FDIC, they should be honoring what,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They
Don't want to take it in pennies, I'll take it.
Now they have the sign hanging up.
Yeah, huh?
They are not taking them anymore. So the borough has to come up with a way, when people come in to pay things, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna handle it? Because, you can't change the bills, like the water and sewer bills, you can't exactly change them.
Right.
You can't make somebody's bill more or less. Here's what it is. So we're working on that, and hopefully we'll have something together for review and approval in April, hopefully.
Right. Most likely what you'll need to do is a round down to the nearest 5 cents.
Something like that. It's like, we thought about credit to their account.
Yeah.
Instead of giving change, credit to their account.
Yeah.
We've also said exact change on
Yeah, because M&T, which is a depository bank for the borough, is still accepting pennies. So they are, but it's gonna come down to it that no depository is gonna be accepting pennies anymore. So we will be coming up with some kind of a policy on it.
Perfect.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Kathy. So, community relations and events. Community report, really, I was gonna say what Guy said earlier, that we've got some people out, and it's actually nice to see our community and see the grass and see the sidewalks and see what we got going on here. There was a long time there where it was all white and covered with snow. So, I do have a list of all the music in the park that we are having this year. So June 20th is a TJ Bed from 6 to 9. The car show on the 19th is the Flaming Dicks and kind of sort of maybe the times we're not quite sure on yet.
Flaming Dicks now, we're talking,
We think we have a sponsor for that, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then August 1st, we have Juniors Grades from 6 to 9. And August 29th, we have the Hannah Violet Trio from 6 to 9. So that'll be our music in the park for the summer. So, which one?
which one?
Hannah is 8:29. Yep, and it's Hannah Violet Trio. All of them are going to be here, so which apparently is different. So, and that's all I have for that for now. Scott, Properties and Event Committee.
All right, unfortunately, the quote for the pool demolition came in over the threshold. So we're gonna have to discuss bidding it.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure how, what you which way do you recommend us going?
we typically bid via PEMBIT, bid supports the service we provide, so we provide request for authorization to get that out to various costs.
And it would go on bid. And Topton sign that, like, you all got an email on different, so I guess we need to pick which sign we're gonna use and approve it, so Stacy can get the ball rolling.
So with that, since the money, the sponsorship for that is coming from what was left in the Centennial Committee,
Correct.
I reached out to Sue Radcliffe to see if she would like to be involved in picking that also. And I am going to be reaching out to Michelle Laura, unless her sister wants to do that. So, but though they both were influential in the Centennial Committee, and I think since it's the money from there that they helped raise, we should include them in the discussion of what we're gonna do there.
So we're still tabling that then, so, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is, perhaps just have them come to the next, ask them to come to the next meeting, and then we can get that moving, so. But I think that's the right thing to do, since they were, so, yeah, definitely.
And also, the project has changed to just being the sign now. At the last meeting, people might have noted that it included a holiday tree. But since our tree is small, but it has electric very close by, if we continue to use that, and who knows in the future, maybe put in a larger tree in the future.
Can we just do a big flower?
They asked specifically for a holiday tree as the Centennial Committee, as well as the Topton sign, welcome sign.
Yeah. Anyone else got it? All right. Sandward Busher, utilities and events.
Hey, okay, so, I emailed you guys yesterday, email regarding, resolution 13-2023. Over the last few months between Attorney Stacy and myself, we have suggested some revisions that need to happen, compared to how it was to some revisions that needed to happen. One of the things that was suggested was, instead of having, water bills placed in renter or tenant's names, to have them put into the property owner's names. And making it fully the, property owner's responsibility for payment.
Just so you know, that was supposed to happen 8 years ago.
Well, I'm thinking is with, I think for help with, late payments or letting to the payment, not that we're getting rid of the payment plan, with payment plan for those who need it, but having less of a payment plan depending on certain things. What else was there? If you look in chapter 1, there was just some revisions of removing some words, where it says tenant and just putting property owner. I had suggested in definition adding user and kind of defining it as the tenant, and then the customer and defining it as the property owner. If you have any questions, I know I sent it out.
No,
So you guys look over. Between all three kind of documents, it was sometimes easier just to make the suggestions on the document itself.
Sure. Yeah, no, that was good. That was totally good, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense that way. Are you going to make changes and then?
So the changes that were presented to Ms. Busher, one caveat is you keep hearing me say over the last couple of years, we've been waiting for our software. Now that we are into the meat of it, they have said It'll be very difficult to have two owners or two parties to any address. They'll have to have two totally different account numbers. So right now, we have one-to-one correspondence. If you own 100 West High Street, there's one account, we go into our system, we can look up your history of usage, your bills, Now, with the new software, if there's a tenant, we have to create an owner, and then a tenant, and then if the tenant switches, a third, and then if the tenant switches again, a fourth. We have great turnover in Topton. I don't know if you know this, but some apartments turn over multiple times during a 12-month period. That will be quite difficult to manage and keep track of. This is a very good time to make this switch. Otherwise, we'll have to be retrained to how to handle this. And not just have one-to-one correspondence like we currently have, and have everything be the responsibility of the property owner.
I did make a suggestion in here that if by chance, and I think legally we have to, if it is in the property owner's name and they're not paying, we do need to notify the tenants so they know whether or not their services are getting billed.
Yes, that's utility service.
So we do that currently,
Yeah,
so we'll just follow that like we have been.
There's a procedure.
I just wanted to make everybody aware, just in case.
We'll continue to comply, don't worry about that. Tenants' Right Act, is that what it's called?
Utility Service Tenant Rights Act.
So this isn't against tenants in any way, but it's a lot more manageable.
But it also
More streamlined.
it makes the property owner ultimately responsible, which the property owner needs to be.
I mean, tenants have more rights than landlords anyway, so.
I can't imagine anything in yellow is going to be deleted or not.
Changed.
Change.
Changed.
Yeah, whatever's highlighted in yellow is kind of what Trenda suggested. Mine's kind of yellow and purple. I kind of kept it separate so I know who did what.
There's some in red, that would be added to the.
That was, if you look where it's highlighted in blue, it says this plan for the customers to prepay their water sewer ahead of time instead of, and I suggested making the change to, making or providing the full payment, whichever kind of flows better word-wise, instead of it saying all at once.
So on page 4 and 5, if it's red letters,
Yeah.
like under, under C 3 and 4,
Yeah.
those are amendments that occurred last year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so C, D, and the rest of D, before, and that's chapter 2 only.
So you're going to update
Those
this.
have already been made.
You can
those
update this and give us a completed copy when it's updated, or is this the completed copy?
This is the for approval, review and approval prior to. Yeah, so the yellow is for review first and then approve. The blue are suggestions, and other yellows are suggestions, other reds.
So in other words, then tonight, we're not going to, we still need to review it. We need to take a review again, so then we'll just make sure we review this in the next meeting, and we'll do that.
And just like the increase to the rates over 4,000 gallons this year, we told everyone ahead of the bill, and we'll do the same, that will make the property owner responsible for all bills and change all the bills going to property owners only, effective for the July invoice, not the April invoice. To inform all the property owners, we'll get a letter or part of a newsletter in with the April bill.
So if I'm a renter and my sewage and water is included in my rent, and the owner of the building doesn't pay,
Then you fall under the Tenant Rights Act,
Utility
utilities.
Service Tenant Rights Act. What happens is that you would receive notice, and notice would be posted in the building that the landlord has not been paying bills, and that the tenants have a right to pay the bills, and you'd have to then go after the landlord for that amount to keep the service from being shut off.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And we already adhere to any of that, and we still will.
Perfect.
All right.
There are a couple more items under force.
Yeah, the chlorine contact tank rehabilitation project. We need a motion to close the bid on it.
I can speak on that.
So you want to speak on it?
Have we done any? Yeah.
Do we have any?
We have bids, they're all significant, my understanding is they're all significantly higher than what we're looking forward. This is the project we've been talking about for a while. This bid has been open up and bid for quite some time, and it's passed to be awarded. My team's been doing some research into some alternative solutions, looking at working directly with manufacturers. But at this time, I can't recommend awarding any of the bids. Council, of course, has a right to award some of the bids, but just due to the process of this being a relatively small project that had to go out to public bid, and the level of surface preparation all the contractors were planning on doing, we were looking at a minimum double the grant amount was, which the grant amount was $60,000. So we're not giving up on this one. The bid documents have still been prepared. They still exist. They can still be used in the future. The borough still has options, but as far as the bid that was put out last year that we're kind of sitting on right now, my engineering recommendation is to not award that bid.
So if you have several bids and they're all way higher than what we can afford and what you thought, is that what this costs? I mean, is this what we're looking at? Is it gonna always be that way?
Potentially. Bidding's chaos, always. We don't know what's going on with the contractors. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes just the time that you put out a bid can increase the cost of the project by as much as 20%. So that's one factor. The other unique factor to this one is the material we were calling out for the coating. We learned through the process of bidding is sole source. Basically, the material has to be applied by an approved applicator. There's only one in the state of Pennsylvania. That material is a material that could be applied with limited surface preparation, which takes a lot of time and money and materials to get the concrete down to a smooth surface and then basically plaster it back to a nice sound surface that you can coat. You can use this material and avoid that whole process, but there's only one group of people who do it, and that jacks up the cost, right? You can go to alternative products, but then you have to do much more extensive surface preparation, and that again increases the cost. So, if the borough had the opportunity to work directly with that material manufacturer and that applicator, this could likely be done within the budget if you go straight to those people, but the borough subject to the public bidding requirements. So, with this specific project and these materials that are available in the market right now, it is a tough situation.
Sounds like me.
No, that's the gist of what I wanted to say. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Have we reached out to this specific company to see what they would charge for it, or?
Yeah, so that's what
And they're
we're
still
working
pretty
on
high?
right now. They're proving difficult to contact. I reached out a couple times, and I've now assigned a younger staff member to just harass them every single week to see if I can get a response out of them. But I do want that number, like, hey, if in some way we found a way to work directly with you, what would this cost? So I'm still working on getting the answer to that question, and maybe we'll learn about material that's, miracle material that we didn't know about before. So we're not giving up on this project. We're giving up on these 3 bids we received.
And you said it's past the due date for the bids, correct?
Yes.
So then we should close it and be done with it and see what you can do with going directly to the wholesaler. So, all right, then I guess we need a motion to close the bid for the tank rehabilitation project.
Question.
Yeah.
How, when far in excess were they over what we expected?
The grant funding we have, I believe, is about 60. During the design process, the estimate we got from a contractor who we now learned really didn't know what they were talking about was about 78. And then when it was put out to bid, the low bid was about 160. So yeah. And the high bid was about 270. It's just.
Yeah, that's really, wow. Okay.
Is there any, like, I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of harm, but is there harm in letting this sit this long, or?
So the borough has a lot of critical infrastructure projects. I do not, my understanding is this tank is not failing. If we sit on it forever, it will. And it is difficult to say specifically when that will happen, but the sooner we do this work, the longer the lifespan of that tank will be.
So it's probably a better idea to do major stuff that we do that now, and
Yeah, I
then
think you
visit
just-
that later.
I think you alluded to that. There are other things that would take priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. All right, so can we get a motion to close the tank rehabilitation bid? Did you do it? Did you?
Yeah, I made the motion.
Okay. Great. Any more questions on that? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone disapproved? All right, closed.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, I'm the talker tonight.
That's okay.
So the 150th Green would like to get the board's approval to propose a moment editing on either May 30th or May 31st, with our rain date for the 150th celebration. It will be closed from the south side of the intersection at Masonville to Broad Alley from approximately 7 a.m. to 3:30, maybe 4.
So we'll just say 7 to 4. Make it.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that. Anyone have any questions on that? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone
Oh, sorry. I did want to say that I asked Stacy the last time I saw her if she had any flyers to hand out to the people at home. And she gave me a template for a letter and a door hanger. So my plan was to the first week of May send out the letter, and then like a week or two before the event with the door hangers on, just as a reminder
Perfect.
for everybody.
Perfect. All right, anyone disapprove? Nope. All right. Anything else to say tonight?
There was a meeting last Wednesday, but I was homesick, so, I mean, I was on the phone, and I caught bits and pieces of it, but I don't know what I'm used to. When I take over on that part, kind of go from there. Scott or Kathy, or you weren't here, Kathy.
You have anything, Colleen, for the 150th meeting? We just talked about getting what speakers we're gonna have.
Yeah.
Again, we discussed times for vendors, which the vendor list is growing.
I saw that you had on Facebook
Oh,
about
yes, it is.
no more crocheters.
Yes. My husband and I, the one man, he's more of a math whiz than I was, and I said, I need you to figure out a way to figure out how many feet from here to here on that road, and I need to figure out how many vendors I can have. So he kind of did the math for me, and yeah, it's interesting.
Well,
I mean, I'm glad I'm happy.
yeah, a good turnout, that's great.
I'm gonna be bald, but it's good though.
FFA was here and so was the Baseball Association.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
they're gonna participate.
Perfect. Good.
There's a lot there. At mini museum, we did talk about the mini museum, and
Yeah.
we
also are planning a separate event for the Moon Trees anniversary in June 20th. So that was on our list of things. And the train line is up in the air because they want to start it at Kutztown. And we were hoping it was going to start in Topton. And go back and forth.
Kutztown was doing that yesterday, I saw the train rides going through. Yeah, it was a couple weeks, but I hope we get much fun to go through.
But I didn't know if there was any.
All right. Engineers report. There you go.
All right, this month we'll start with the Washington Street Pump Station. DEP and all their wisdom have indeed confirmed that they will require sewer planning, which is them telling the borough that the borough needs to prove to the borough that it is not increasing sewer demand by replacing a pump in
Say that again?
They're requiring the borough to prove to itself that this project will not increase demand on the borough. So the borough is the applicant, the borough is also the owner. So we, the borough, as the applicant, are asking for permission to do this project from ourselves.
From ourselves. Okay.
I think we get permission.
I think that's an easy one.
I'm not worried about those signatures.
Right.
I'm worried about how long it's going to take to get through this. So sewer planning is something we do a lot. And I like to provide options for you to consider. So we have fought this as hard as we can. As I've said before, my lead water wastewater engineer used to be the director of the department that would use these at DEP. So she's exceptionally frustrated right now because she used to do this for a living. However, the two options are for us to go through with the full sewer planning process, which our typical fee for that is about $6,000. And we estimate the delay to be 4 months.
So let me ask you a question. If we are planning on adding to the sewer, like more coming into it, would the grant go away then? Is that what they're saying? Like they can't approve it if we have to tell ourselves that we're doing this and we're not gonna add more to it, I don't understand that. Like what? Because what if Topton would grow? There is land still in the borough that would have to,
Yeah, so this is on a project-specific basis. So the big picture is there's an Act 537 plan.
Right.
That's done, right? And so this planning module, the function of a planning module is to modify an Act 537. So basically saying, what we're doing can be done within the confines of the Act 537 plan without creating conflicts elsewhere, right? In this case, we know that's not gonna happen because we're just replacing equipment in kind.
Right.
But we're DEP is basically saying, prove it to us and pay for it via our bureaucratic process. The other option is to maybe pursue fighting with the solicitor, but that's never going to be faster.
Trying to find the government?
It's, like I said, I try to provide options, I can't promise.
Give it the old college try.
I don't know about that.
If it wasn't so dire of a situation
Right.
with the pump station, maybe that would be a sound possibility, but it's up to council, of course.
I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I think going with, Josh just explained.
Yeah, exactly.
A better option than trying to find City Hall. Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean,
I know we are City
We'll
Hall.
provide a formal request for authorization to Stacy if council's comfortable with that, and it won't be any more than $6,000, and maybe less. Maybe we'll get started on that tomorrow.
perfect.
It's never fun delivering bad news. Thank you, Josh.
It's not, but better sooner than later, right?
That's so stupid. Prove to yourself that you know you're proving it. That's why.
And they're deciding not to go down this rabbit hole. But we've spent energy looking into this, and they cited a law that basically, if they interpret it how they're interpreting it, basically says any construction project that's done that relates to sewer anywhere, no matter what the circumstances, you have to go through sewer plan, which is not how we've seen it interpreted historically. At least as far as I know. We'll get past this. We'll solve the problem. That's what we do for a living. Item number 2, wastewater treatment plant chlorine contact chamber. We already discussed that one. Item number 3, filter media permit. We did get that permit from DEP, so they're not always unreasonable, and that is currently in progress. Some equipment has been delivered, still waiting on some additional parts to get that media replaced. Item 4, the water supply well. So a little bit of good news from DEP on that one. If you recall, there was a delay reviewing our report where we're basically requesting authorization to drill a new well. The geologist for this region was on permanent leave, so it had to be sent to a different region with backlog. But we've heard back from this other geologist, and they just yesterday requested us to schedule a second one with them, which is great. That means it's moving forward. They're looking at a report, and we're going to be getting to a point soon where we can look at the next steps. Which we have here all these tasks. These tasks were estimated 3 years ago by a previous engineer, so we're going through and we're breaking it out in more detail for you guys. So when we get to this task schedule, you're going to get a formal scope feed. You're going to see exactly what you're getting, and we're just going to take this project one step at a time. It is a big project, but it's critical to the borough. So that will be coming before the next meeting, and we can look at that next step. Number 5 is the pool demolition project. We'll be providing a letter and planner scope for putting that out to bid. I expect that to be quick because we've already got all the documents prepared. And the only other thing on this report that I'd like to mention is that UGI gas main relocation on Home Street. They're not done with that project, and Callowhill can just roll over there on Home Street, and they're expected to do that this spring. So I haven't got a schedule for them yet, but there will be some work done on South Home Street this spring. Yeah, so that's why we do it. And that's why we do it this way. Yeah, that's why we make the road so long, is so that it can settle and come back and recompact that area. And so it won't settle after we pave the whole road. But I agree with you. That concludes my report this evening.
All right, thank you, Tony. All right, we got some old business. Hometown Heroes update.
No change.
No change? Yeah, I don't think so. Topton Community Ambulance Board. Let's see. Monica, you gave us a nice little printout here, which is nice. Thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody get one of these? Saw that? Yeah, perfect. Love it. This is great. Perfect. Anything else you want to say? Or? You're good? Okay. Thanks. So Topton Borough Preservation Board, so we had a meeting prior to council. You 3 were there? Yes.
I didn't wait to.
What did we learn?
Well, I'm gonna say that I'm appointing somebody, I'll volunteer to be the council representative.
Perfect. I think that's a good idea.
And
I really do.
we're gonna have to get together within the next week or so to reorganize and make everything.
Okay.
We're gonna need another at-large person. I already contacted somebody that's interested in that. And the other guys are okay with it, so. And the museum will be open from 9 to 2 for the 150th. Okay. Dennis agreed to that. And right now, they're just straightening up the museum. There's stuff in there that doesn't belong, and it's
Yeah.
gotta be gone through.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So hopefully by next month, we'll have the reorganization meeting,
Okay,
all that stuff taken care of.
good, perfect, thank you. Thanks for volunteering. I'm sure your mom loves that, you know? So,
You know,
oh, she doesn't know it yet? Uh-oh. So Brandywine Community Library, do you have anything to?
Big thank you. And, just so you know that your community library got another award this year for their teen reading lounge program, the mental health program last year. And that was through all of the Berks County Public Libraries for their award ceremony. So we're pretty excited. They made us happy.
Yeah, congrats, that's great, that's really good. Perfect. All right. All right, last but not least, do you want to talk about this, Cal? The resolution 2026 to appoint a new borough solicitor.
Okay, we met with, three firms that were interested, and, from the three, we did select one, we're going to present it tonight, for, action this time. Topton and I, and Scott Arm, were the three council members who interviewed the prospective solicitor.
Stacy set up with this as well. Yeah. So. And
But you make a motion.
well, I think there were three different firms that we went through and talked to, and there was one specifically that stood out from all of those. He is also the solicitor for a neighboring municipality, Maxatawny. We thought that he probably could give us what we're looking for because he, again, deals with this area and whatnot. One of the questions that I always ask in every single interview that I do, which I have been interviewing for decades, at the very end, I always ask people if they were a salad dressing, what dressing would they be and why? And I do that because it shows how quick someone can think on their feet and what they say. All three of them said Italian dressing because they have Italian in them. One had to really think about it, and the other two, boom. One in particular, he just knew what dressing he was. He knew right away, you know what I mean? So yeah, he has some really good credentials. So I believe all four of us decided on, how I want to pronounce it correctly.
Masato Bradley, LLP. Oh, Christopher Muddy.
Mubdi, is it Mubdi? It's
See, I
V-D-I, yeah, M-U-B-D-I. Christopher Mubdi is what it is. So we need tonight to appoint and have resolution 2026 to appoint Chris Mubdi as the borough solicitor.
I make that motion.
Second.
Anyone have any questions? Those of you that weren't there, any questions? No? You're all good? All right. All those in favor, say aye. Anyone disapprove? So be it.
And I'll assist in transitioning any files directed.
I appreciate that, Joan. Now the next thing. Maybe I should have said this before we did this. So the only issue with him is that, known issue, I should say, with him is that we need to change the date of the borough meetings. He is in Maxatawny at the second Monday of every month. So we need to have these on the first Monday of every month. Does anybody have, yeah.
I just thought about it as he was talking.
He's making a face.
We've got options for flexible. This isn't gonna affect our
Okay.
ability.
Will it affect your ability?
There are other options on Masano Bradley's site.
Correct.
No.
It's not gonna affect you?
There is a municipality that I go to that meeting, they have 2 meetings a month, and I skip the Saturday, so
Okay.
I could easily switch which meeting I go to.
Okay. This doesn't affect anything with your wife, does it? 'Cause that's, you know, you know what they say.
My wife is a medical resident, so
Okay.
I never see her.
All right, just, you know, that's always something to worry about.
She's catching babies.
There you go, there you go. All right, so now what we need to do is I need a motion to advertise that we are changing the date from the second Monday to the first Monday of every month. So it'd be the first, and I guess the third. The first and the third Monday of every month is needed, so I need that motion.
I'll second
All right, anybody have any questions? All those in favor? Anyone disapprove? Do we have anything from any visitors? Yes, Brian?
I have a couple things. Today, my wife and I were at the park today with our grandson, who's 13 months. My wife came in, Stacy, and we've noted that there's no child swing from somebody that's, I'd say, under 2 or 3 years old. Any reason for that?
So Trina did speak to your wife and gave her the information. Did she not share that with you?
She did. She just said
Okay.
kind of to the borough meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So when the entire park was redesigned, old boardwalk torn down, old pavilion torn down, replaced, it was noted in the designs how much clearance space, fall space that
that's
must
right,
be
I remember.
provided to a baby seat in a swing. And the choice was made by the powers that be at that time, based on the designs presented, because that would take up so much space, it would take over 3 like, for example, and maybe Brian Smith would, you know, be accessible for a question. It would take the space of 3 regular swings to have a baby swing. So it was decided to not have it in this design and installation of the park, but hopefully have it in a future area of the park.
I do remember that, actually. I was on that committee with Trenda, and I do remember that we couldn't, it was almost they weren't saying we couldn't have it,
No.
but if we did, we
It
had
would
to
take up this
modify
much space.
everything else that was around it. I do remember that.
I think,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I think that's pretty sad for a park not to have access for children at that age. The other issue, the push swing is broken.
We know.
Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
know.
snowing, so there's a lot to happen in the park.
Okay.
Soon, very soon.
And I just have
Thank
one
you.
more,
Thank
I just
you.
have one more thing, just a curiosity question. On January 5th, when you had your reorganization meeting, it was brought up then already for a new solicitor. Any reason for a new solicitor, since we had Joan for 15, 20 years? Why all of a sudden you get 5 new people on board, you need a new solicitor? Curiosity question.
Who wants to take that? I mean, I'm gonna say this. Joan has been our solicitor for 18 years?
18 years, yes.
18 years, and she has done a bang-up job. I mean, Joan has done a very, very good job for the borough. She was here through some tough times, some switching of things. She was here through COVID with us. She has done some really good things. However, me personally, I'll just tell you what I personally thought. I thought that it was time for a change, a complete change, to take the direction of the borough a little further than what it's been, yet, as I said before, still acknowledging what makes it that everybody wants to live here. So, me personally, I thought that it was just time for a change. That's what I thought.
So one solicitor is gonna make a big difference over another solicitor?
Well, I gotta tell you this. I will tell you this, and I'm not gonna name names, but from when I was on Borough Council before to when I am on now, the difference in the person representing Barry Isett is absolutely amazing.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Absolutely amazing.
I agree with all that.
So changes can be a really good thing. That's how I look at it. Sorry, don't, I mean, you know.
I'm blushing
honestly, and I think I said that to you the very next day after that first meeting, I said, man,
I said,
this is what we needed for a long
It's like, what a
time.
difference.
And now he just went over 100% saying that his wife delivers.
Exactly, now it's like, oh, God, no, but
Then you might
that's
write a letter to my boss.
I mean, sometimes you just have to do things that, you know, you might not really want to do, but you should.
correct.
Because things get comfortable. And I don't wanna, and it's just like an auditor, they tell you to change auditors every so many years.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so it's a good thing to change different things
Yeah.
every so often.
I mean, and I think Joan and I have always had a very good relationship, I mean, you know.
Let me just say this, it's been a pleasure working with the Borough of Topton for the past 18 years. I would have liked to have stayed another 18 years, but I respect the Borough Council's decision. There's a new majority on council. Very often that means new professionals. I completely accept that. I have no problem. I have no bad feeling about it whatsoever. And Stacy, you can always call me if you have a question about anything that I've done, anything that I have worked on. You and I are going to work together in my capacity as solicitor for the Blighted Property Committee with 546 Celia. But yeah, it's been a pleasure working with everybody here, and I have enjoyed the past 18 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Joan.
Actually, you were given the option to reapply, right?
I was given the option to reapply, but I respected that there was a new majority on council and felt that it would be appropriate to bow out this time.
and if you send that $6,000 bill to the DEP, we'll write you that letter.
Yeah. There you go.
Smart businessman.
Smart businessman, you're right. All right, anyone else? Yes, Kurt.
A question on the pool, if this goes to bid as soon as possible, you said, when is the date that we can see the pool actually be gone?
Oh, God, don't say that, Kurt.
That would only be
So we could authorize this to bid at the next meeting. That would need to be authorized by council. It could then be advertised the next day. We could do a 3-week bid period and then have 1 week to review the bids, and then at that following council meeting, so 2 meetings from that, the bids could be considered, and if a bid is acceptable, then we could award it. From that point, construction can start as soon as the contractor is in.
So our celebration is May the 30th, is there any chance?
No.
Not at this point,
No.
unfortunately.
construction start maybe June? Would you say June?
Just curious.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I had, with living downtown with the vehicle that drove onto the train tracks, is there anything being done to prevent that from happening? I know at one time there were lines
White
painted on
lines,
the curb lines. Is anything being addressed, or better lighting, or anything at all to
A lot of it
avoid
is,
that from happening?
a lot of it is GPS. It keeps.
Yeah.
But it's very dark during it's raining that night.
It is.
You're not in the
It is.
area.
It is dark.
It is.
So at least having lines painted there may help.
Well, it's very hard to get a hold of them to do anything.
If it's
But-
on Norfolk Southern's property, you're not allowed to
Yeah, it's
trespass.
very, very hard.
Right, railroads enforce their rights of way.
Yeah.
We have to call every time we want to apply salt to ice on the railroad tracks,
Yeah. It's.
and that's just salt.
But I agree. I mean, that's the second time in my lifetime that someone did that.
Well,
The
there's
first
cars
time.
on there a lot,
Yeah.
they just don't usually get hit.
Yeah, the first time I was sitting inside of the White Palm when that person, drove on there and it was, yeah.
Trails just park on.
Oh, well, that happened, yeah, I remember that too, yeah. But I guess that is something that we should maybe, I know, again, reaching out to Norfolk Southern is very difficult, but we should put it on a list and maybe see if we can have them come, because I think the last time they redid,
History.
well, the last time they redid the tracks, I think that's when there were no more white lines there anymore, right?
Now, right, so maybe that.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
that's
do it
right.
again in June, July.
Yeah,
so
then maybe they
I can
can put some
contact them.
reflected something or whatever, or
Okay.
allow us to do it or something.
Paint them
Yeah,
fluorescent orange.
yeah, yeah, it's a good point, Kurt.
Thank you, Ms. Fields.
I was just going to comment, it's not just here in Topton, it's in a lot of small towns. I can guarantee you there are various GPS systems that don't understand the roads here. So if you're not familiar with the town, you're not paying attention, or it's dark out.
It's very easy to turn.
So I have no doubt somebody could easily.
Our whole downtown is, I mean, if you're not from here, you know what I mean, you're stopping here and I mean, it's like, go, you know, but, you know, if you're not.
You're sitting there going,
Yeah.
get out of the
Yeah, but if you're not from here, it is just,
Yes, it's like, or the other day, I'm coming down Franklin, and there goes a car up the Home Avenue, up the wrong way.
yeah, oh yeah, it happens.
And I'm like, don't you see the signs?
No, GPS will do.
Yeah, you're right.
I've had people come and visit me, and they're guiding us somewhere else because GPS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. Anyone? Yes.
So when it comes to quality of life now, issues, how are they gonna be addressed?
They're currently complaint-based.
Okay?
We have a spreadsheet where people can, verbally or in writing in other ways. The spreadsheet is located on the website link, or they can come in, anyone can come in verbally, give it to us by email, and
So if somebody did something verbally and nothing was done, then what do you do about it?
can you confirm nothing was done, or was it just
Oh, I can
not
confirm.
adhered to?
I can confirm nothing was done.
Okay, so we submit a violation as a warning first, that's the policy that is under the ordinance, and then each time they get another violation, the fee goes up.
I'll just say, there's a complaint was made with a Borough Council member there who was on the committee, and nothing has been done to the issue.
Brian, see me after the meeting.
I don't feel as though citizens of Topton should have to go after citizens of Topton. I think if it's a Borough Council ordinance, somebody in Borough Council needs to be held accountable for
Well,
the issue.
it was suggested by professional staff in the past that it's a conflict of interest if a council person goes after, as you put it, a quality of life issue for one of their neighbors. Then that council person should look at themselves, look at everyone equally and fairly, and how can that be done? Unless you're at every single property in the borough at all times. So it was suggested that council bow out and designate other staff.
So who went after Mr. Zimmerman when he had to move his Connex boxes?
What are Connex boxes? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means.
He's talking about down behind the Lutheran church, that property that Zimmerman bought.
Are they roll-off containers? Are they?
Similar, yeah.
So I believe, and I can check my records, that went to our engineer to inspect and determine whether it was acceptable under our zoning and property maintenance.
So it was an engineer's decision, not a...
Because I, as the quality of life enforcement, could not determine if that was acceptable under zoning. It wasn't just a quality of life issue. It did not just become a quality of life issue.
So, and I don't mean to be the bad guy here, so why do we have a quality of life issue if it's not going to be enforced by anybody?
It is being enforced, but it's complaint-based at this time. We do not have the personnel at this time to drive the whole town and find violations.
So you're saying that specific issue was never taken care of?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then,
No, that's.
Brian, I invite you to come and see our records of what was determined at that particular property. Please feel free to come into the office during normal business
Yeah.
hours.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything else?
Stacy, are we doing these street workers?
Yes.
Can we please,
property was determined that we did a study, I believe very nicely, did samples of coolers and everything, but it was determined that we really shouldn't repave, we should make this grass and move our parking to the White Street parking lot for Borough, especially for stormwater management issues. Because those lips at the entrance and exits, we can't wear them down, it would just then eventually flood our office and the property, so that's the option there. But over at the shop, I 100% agree. Yeah, so the co-op can, do that, but we won't be able to use our, liquid fuels money, but we can look at our loan funds and try to use the loan funds to repay for that.
All right.
Thank you.
Perfect. Good. If there's nothing else, then I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.